Smack dab in the middle of the week, almost the middle of the month, not quite, 12th day of March, 2025. I'm Dan Coons. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us. It is 37 degrees in the big city, and all the active weather that we've been talking about over the last couple of days begins today. Outside of Friday, when we're going to take a little bit of a break from the wind and the rain, we are in for all kinds of weather, one system after the other. It's going to be cold, it's going to be rainy, it's going to be windy. Saturday morning, if you're an early riser on Saturday morning, you may wake up to some snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. Snow level is going to be almost right here at the valley floor. There's a lot of weather to talk about. Things are going to be pretty crazy. It's a very deep, very active low pressure system, and there's two of them. One of them today into tomorrow. It exits on Thursday afternoon into Thursday night. Friday we catch a break. System number two comes in, which is even more active and even colder and wetter still. That comes in Friday night into Saturday, and the whole weekend looks pretty darn stormy. Don't know why there's no sun up in the sky. Stormy weather. And that's all I can sing, because then we'll have to pay mechanical royalties, and quite frankly, we don't have the budget. Weather is coming up. News is coming up. Congratulations to Gonzaga. They did it again. They were a 3-point favorite over St. Mary's in the West Coast Tournament Championship game, and they won a very low-scoring game. Defense carried the day, so they did it again. They punched their automatic ticket to the NCAA men's tournament. They were going to go anyway, but now they don't have to worry about certain things. We'll talk about that in sports. And in case you missed the interviews I did last week, they're so good I wanted to do them again. We're going to put them together in one airing today. I'm talking about the good folks at Thriving Together NCW. Great organization doing important work. And if you remember correctly, last week I had a chance to talk to Joseph Hunter, who's the Recovery Coach Network Manager. His backstory is rather remarkable, where he came from and what he's accomplished since he hit rock bottom, and also the executive director, John Chapman, of Thriving Together NCW. Good folks, great interview. Don't miss that. And Mike's commentary today, rap music. If Mike was younger, maybe he'd like it. If Mike was younger, he would be younger. Anyway, all that's coming up here on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Real quickly, before we do the slides, it is snowing on Stevens. Traction tires are advised. It's snowing on I-90. Traction tires are advised. It's a rain-snow mix at the summit of Blewett right now. No advisory yet. That's going to change. Mountain passes are going to get quite a bit of snow. But here's a video that the National Weather Service sent down the pike, and we have it for you here. Here you go. The timeline is in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. And as you can see, here comes the precipitation. For the Wenatchee Valley, rain. Upper elevations, snow. Omak, Okanagan, a distinct possibility of some snow up that way as well. All the passes are going to get quite a bit of snow. We're going to have rain. In fact, we could get a lot of rain tonight. It could be a downright deluge tonight into Thursday morning before we dry out and see some sunshine. The funny thing is, once we dry out on Thursday, especially Thursday afternoon, it'll get very windy. Indeed, this low pressure system that's paying us a visit right now, very fast moving. The one that's going to follow it this weekend is much slower and is going to give us even more rain and more snow. Well, it is, after all, still winter, and will be for another 8 days. The vernal equinox is on March 20th this year. All right, from the National Weather Service, let's get right to it. Rain today, most of it coming in the afternoon hours, not real warm. Snow level right now is at 2,600 feet. It's going to go up to 4,200 feet. So that still means the higher passes are still going to get some snow and clouds. And the rain, whatever we get, is going to be mostly in the afternoon hours, and then rain overnight tonight, and a lot of it. Snow level will be hovering about 3,000 feet. So some of the foothills could see a little bit of rain. Some of the foothills around the Wenatchee Valley, Birch Mountain, Badger Mountain, they could see some snow tonight. 36 for the overnight low. Rain in the morning, and then we see the sun come back out in the afternoon, and is replaced with wind. Very windy conditions on Thursday. Gusts pushing 30 miles an hour tomorrow, and Thursday night for that matter. Friday we catch a break, partly sunny. On Friday, again, temperatures well below normal. Our normal high temperature this time of the year is about 51. Ain't going to get there. So Friday is the nicest day for the remainder of the work week anyway. And then here comes the rain again. Rain Friday night. Saturday morning between about 6 a.m. to about 8 a.m. we could see some snow. The snow level at sunrise on Saturday morning is going to be at 1,400 feet. Yeah, and then it's going to switch over to rain. We will see some sunshine, by the way, on Saturday. Saturday night rain, quite a bit of it. Sunday rain, quite a bit of it. Monday, not so much rain, but we are in for a whole bunch of active weather. Again, today and into Thursday afternoon is low pressure system number 1. It exits Thursday night. We catch a break on Friday, and then system number 2, which is stronger and slower, starts rolling in Friday night into Saturday. Get ready, folks. Going to be an interesting weekend. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, the headlines on this Wednesday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today.
Meet Amanda in person at the KBQ Home Expo, March 14th through the 16th.
Central Washington Water is your hot spring spa dealer for over 45 years. Shop their showroom and see the new Freshwater Smart IQ. This is a new innovative approach to super simple water care combined with the freshwater salt system to give you clean, balanced spa water naturally. There's a hot tub for every budget. Buy plug-and-play spas starting at $79 per month. See Central Washington Water at the KPQ Home Expo and save up to $1,000 on a hot spring spa. Central Washington Water.
It's the National RV Show at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake, March 13th to the 23rd. Check out the enormous selection of both new and used RVs, motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, with huge incentives, 0 down and no payments for 90 days. Top manufacturers are coming from across the country, like Winnebago, Holiday Rambler, Forest River, Thor, Flagstaff, Grand Design RV, and more. And enter to win $30,000 or a new RV. Get $3,000 over NADA for your trade, paid for or not. So come on down to the National RV Show at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake, March 13th to the 23rd.
Pretty cloudy skies right now. Some hit and miss light drizzle throughout the course of the day today, and some snow in the mountain passes. Serious rain tonight. We dry out and have a lot of wind on Thursday, and then the rain returns on Saturday. It's going to hang around for most of the weekend. It's about 8 minutes after the hour. A drive-by shooting broke out Saturday in the 1100 block of North Stratford Road in Moses Lake and has sent a victim to the hospital. Police say they were dispatched about 8 o'clock Saturday night to a report of a fight in which one participant displayed a gun. After the dispute, a white sedan pulled up alongside the victim's car while northbound on Stratford, and one occupant allegedly fired into the vehicle, wounding the victim in the back and in the arm. That person was treated at Samaritan Hospital. Their injuries not life-threatening. Police say the incident is under investigation. Well, the man accused of setting fire to the Wenatchee drainage culvert last month has now been formally charged with arson. Chelan County prosecutors on Monday charged 51-year-old Timothy John Whitney with 1 count of second-degree arson. Whitney, who is homeless, was allegedly trying to start a warming fire February 3rd at the mouth of the culvert when the plastic-lined pipe caught fire and sent a whole bunch of black smoke into the afternoon sky. Whitney denied being the cause of that fire. It required $260,000 worth of emergency repairs to prevent the culvert from collapsing. He remains held in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center on a $25,000 bond. A Bridgeport man is charged with 8 counts of possessing images of child sexual abuse. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies arrested 25-year-old Michael T. Robinson at his home last Thursday. Detectives say they began investigating in October on a tip from the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, which tracked alleged downloads of child pornography to Robinson's IP address. Prosecutors filed the felony charges yesterday. Judge Brian Huber allowed Robinson to go free without bond ahead of his next court date, but he did restrict his travel to within the state of Washington. Well, the Wenatchee School District was supposed to consider a separation agreement with an educator accused of sexual assault at last night's school board meeting. According to our media partner, the Wenatchee World, former Wenatchee High School employee David Vasquez was accused of groping a 21-year-old woman at a house party in 2023. That September, Vasquez, who was then 41 years old, was charged in Chelan County District Court with third-degree attempted rape. The charges were dismissed in November of 2023 while the alleged victim attended job-related training, and they have not been refiled since. Under the proposed agreement, Vasquez would resign from his position effective the last day of August and would remain on paid administrative leave until that date. And Edward Eaton, the owner of iPro Building Services, an East Wenatchee commercial cleaning business, recently competed in a reality TV entrepreneurial show called The Blocks. Eaton was selected from more than 50,000 applicants to be one of 100 contestants. He was flown out to Oklahoma. He filmed for 6 days, competed in daily business-related challenges to keep going on the show all the way to the end. Did he go all the way to the end? Well, Eaton says he can't say a lot about the show since he was part of season 21, which won't air for another 6 months or so. But he did tell our media partner, the Wenatchee World, that he did make it to the final episode. We'll just have to wait 6 to 8 months to find out how he did. That's how these things work. And that's the news. At 12 minutes after the hour, if you're interested in finding out what is the news, we have a show dedicated exactly to that. It's called the NCWLIFE Evening News, and it airs Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV. You can watch it on TV at 5, 6, and 10. If you don't have cable, if you consume all of your television with your smart TV, and I got one, it's smarter than I am, our news will be up and running via the World Wide Web. You can go to our homepage, ncwlife.com, and watch the evening news with Grant and Eric. You can go to our Facebook page. You can go to our YouTube page. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, the QR code is right there. And if you think something might be worthy of our attention, you send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Sports, the Obscura holiday, today in history, some celebrity birthdays, a brand new opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty and our friends at Thriving Together NCW. All coming up on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at merrymaidesofwenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Merry Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. So relax, it's done.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. Warm up with one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Sports at quarter after the hour. Gonzaga avenged their 2 regular season losses to St. Mary's. They beat the 19th ranked Gales 58-51 in the West Coast Conference Tournament Championship in Las Vegas last night. It helps when the opposing team goes 0 for 16 from 3-point range. That's what St. Mary's did. Didn't make a single 3-pointer. Khalif Battle had 14 points for the Zags. Graham Ike at 11 points. Ryan Nembhard had 10. Gonzaga has won at least 25 games for 18 consecutive seasons. That extends their already existing NCAA record. Seattle Kraken host the Montreal Canadiens tonight in a non-conference matchup. The team squared off for the second time this season. The first time in Montreal, the Kraken won and won big, 8-2. Brandon Montour scored 3 goals with the win. That game will be televised on both King and Kong, but try to resist climbing up the side of a skyscraper. Well, we've been following, or we're hoping to follow, the Seattle Tri-City Western Hockey League game last night down in Kennewick, because, of course, as you know by now, the Wenatchee Wild are 3 points behind Seattle for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference of the Western Hockey League. But last night's game between the Americans and the Thunderbirds was postponed in the second period after Tri-City defenseman Terrell Goldsmith fell face first on the ice during a fight and had convulsions. They took him to the hospital. Seattle was leading 2-0 at the time of the incident. Tri-City announced that the game would be rescheduled. They kind of have to reschedule because it's definitely going to play a role in the standings. The Wenatchee Wild are up in Kamloops to take on the team that's chasing them at 7 o'clock tonight, and then back-to-back games with Prince George coming up over the weekend. Spring sports is upon us. And in high school soccer last night, Eisenhower defeated the Quincy Jackrabbits. The final there was 2-1. Yeah, we've got to start talking about spring sports. And there's one soccer game today to note. Chelan will be at Wauwatosa. They'll get going at 4 p.m., I believe. So, yeah, spring sports is already here. And don't forget, we will be at Wildcat Stadium on Friday night as Eastmont Wildcats start their 2025 boys soccer campaign. They'll take on the Pasco Bulldogs. Sebastian Moraga with the call. We'll have it for you Friday night right here on the NCWLIFE channel. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 18 minutes after the hour, it's Youth Day in Zambia. I wanted to wish the kids in Zambia a happy Youth Day. I don't know how you celebrate. It's National Girl Scout Day. It's National Plant a Flower Day. Too early to plant a flower. It's too cold. The soil is too cold for that. They should do that later on. It's National Baked Scallops Day today. No, thank you. Not going to do that. But for whatever reason, because it's not his birthday, but today, the obscure holiday it's Alfred Hitchcock Day today. And I don't know why. There he is, the master of suspense. It's not his birthday. He didn't die on this date. I don't know why March 12th is Alfred Hitchcock Day, but it is. Of course, he was also one of the best filmmakers of the 20th century. He directed over 50 films. That's pretty good. He was English, of course, by birth, eventually immigrated to the United States and became an American citizen. Rebecca, Lifeboat, Suspicion, Strangers on a Train, Notorious, Dial M for Murder. My 2 favorites, Rear Window and Rope, just because I like Jimmy Stewart. To Catch a Thief, Vertigo, Psycho, The Birds, North by Northwest. I watched that a couple of days ago. It's a great movie. The films by Alfred Hitchcock garnered 46 Academy Award nominations, 6 wins, but he himself never won the award for Best Director. He was nominated Best Director 5 times, never took home the Oscar. Alfred Hitchcock, if you watch Alfred Hitchcock films, you know that he had cameos in 39 of his films, mostly during the opening credits. Alfred Hitchcock had a fear of law enforcement, and he was revolted by eggs. He didn't like eggs. He didn't like the smell of them. He didn't like to look at them. I wonder what he'd think about eggs today. Alfred Hitchcock Day is today, for reasons unknown. Almost 20 minutes after the hour. Today in history. There they are, the 8 members of the Chicago White Sox who met their fate on this date in 1921, 104 years ago today. Newly minted Commissioner of Baseball Kennesaw Mountain Landis suspends the 8 members of the White Sox for their involvement in the fixing of the 1919 World Series, including Joe Jackson, who batted .375 in the series. The others banned, you see them there, Eddie Cicotti, the pitcher, Happy Felsch. Chick Gandil, who was the ringleader, he was the one who had the idea to begin with. Chick Gandil was a man with a notoriously mean disposition. Fred McMullen, banned for life. Swede Reisberg, Buck Weaver, Lefty Williams. None of the 8 members of the 1919 Chicago White Sox who were banned from baseball would ever play in professional organized baseball again. They take gambling very seriously if you're a player. March 12, 1928, 97 years ago today, the St. Francis Dam falls. It falls. It was about 40 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles. It was a curved concrete gravity dam. It wasn't generating electricity or anything. It was basically built to create a large storage reservoir for water for the people in the city of Los Angeles. And it didn't last very long. 431 people were killed. It remains, to this day, the second greatest loss of life in California's history, the second deadliest disaster of all time. Of course, the 1906 San Francisco earthquake and fire comes in number 1, but 431 people died. In fact, the remains of the victims were found as recently as 1994. Most of the victims, their bodies washed out into the Pacific Ocean and were never found. The St. Francis Dam collapses not long after it was built on this date 97 years ago today. And we got some birthdays for you. He's seen fire and he's saying rain. You've got a friend. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Mexico, shower the people, your smiling face. Sweet baby James. James Taylor, the singer, songwriter, and guitarist. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, class of 2000. Happy 77th birthday to James Taylor. It's good stuff. Good Saturday and Sunday morning listening for yours truly every once in a while. And as you know, I'm a big fan of the Polish ski jumper Dawid Kubacki. And I wanted to wish Dawid Kubacki, the great Polish ski jumper, a happy 35th birthday today. He won a couple of silver medals at a few Winter Olympics about 15 years ago. Anybody who's a ski jumper has my respect. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors. The Cash for Clunkers program, I believe, is still up and running. So if your HVAC system is simply old and inefficient and you want to switch it out, get a hold of Alpine Air. They may be able to set you up with a brand new HVAC system, the guts to it anyway. Switch out your own one and you might be eligible for a big fat rebate too, because you know the local PUDs want you to be as energy efficient as possible. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. What does rap music and Mike Magnotti have in common? Not much. His opinion is coming up, and then the interview that I did last week with 2 really cool individuals who do really good work from Thriving Together NCW. Joseph Hunter is the Recovery Coach Network manager, and the guy who runs the joint, John Chapman. They're both coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from less.
It's time for the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Blueberry Hills. The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center is now enrolling students for their Spring Break Adventure Camps. They start on April 7th. Craftopia Camp features painting and creating original crafts inspired by artifacts at the museum. Robotics Camp teaches the basics of robotics using hands-on experiments, simulations, and challenges. First and second grade students will have half-day camps. Older students will have full-day camps.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, my musical tastes are pretty eclectic. While my fave genres are rock and the blues, I also have to admit that I do love the big band music of the 40s. Glenn Miller's In the Mood, Artie Shaw's Begin to Begin, that's great stuff. And however, I can't deny the legitimacy of rap music. Okay, I don't like it either, but I have to admit, if rap had been around when I was younger and my testosterone level was higher, I probably would have liked some of this stuff. So maybe while some current musical genres may not be to your or my taste, I think that I think rap music deserves some respect. Maybe. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to Blueberry Hills to experience some real treats. Take a look at our homemade cream pies, our amazing cheesecakes, and don't forget our famous banana pudding. Remember, we're more than just great treats. People come from all over the world to experience what has been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Welcome to the Gilded Lily home, where something extraordinary is waiting for you. The Gilded Lily offers a unique collection of hand-selected, carefully curated items to help you celebrate all of life's special moments. From the budding chef to the home decorator to that very special occasion, there is an abundance of delightful gifts waiting for you. The Gilded Lily home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items to brighten any area of your home.
Remember when you could afford to have fun on two wheels without breaking the bank? Maybe you started on a Honda Z50 or a Trail 70 or one of the most popular Hondas of all time, the Trail 90. Well, Honda and Doghouse Motorsports are making fun affordable again. Introducing the Honda Monkey, the Dax, and the new updated Trail 125, all featuring fuel-injected four-stroke engines with electric start. The best part of all, they are affordably priced under $5,000. Whether you're just getting started or you want to get back at it, Doghouse Motorsports has you covered.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Welcome back to the program. An organization doing good work has, needed a little love from me lately, and I should have been getting together with Thriving Together NCW quite some time ago. Things come and go. They fall off my radar. Totally my bad. Until a couple of weeks ago, when they sent me and a number of other media organizations an email about a new video series that Thriving Together NCW is rolling out. And we're going to show you a snippet of a couple of videos before this conversation is over. First of all, my guest is Joseph Hunter, who is the Recovery Coach Network Manager at Thriving Together NCW. I got that right.
Yes.
Good. Thank you, Joseph, for joining me. We're going to have a couple of guests actually during this conversation segment. First of all, for the uninitiated, Thriving Together NCW, what is it? Why does your organization exist?
We're here to advance the health and well-being in our community, in a sense, and my specific role is anything to do with recovery support services. As a person with lived experience that grew up in this region, I know all too well what it's like to be fighting that fight and not have community support. And so organizations like Thriving Together NCW that promote health and wellness for underserved populations like people that struggle with addiction is a very crucial resource for our region.
You spent a great deal of your younger years addicted. You've been fairly open about
Yes.
about your past. Grew up out in the basin, not the best of circumstances in the home life. It's pretty easy from a socioeconomic standpoint to fall down that rabbit hole, and you fell down it in a big way, didn't you?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Just growing up in a really, really low income family. My parents struggled on and off with addiction, did the best they could with what they had, and I just found out all too fast that you could cope with your problems with drugs and alcohol. It was an easy, quick fix, and it is somebody that didn't fit in school. Like, that instantly gave me validation. It instantly gave me a group of people that understood, and I just gravitated towards that lifestyle very fast. It slowly spiraled out of control. I started out as a normal kid. School was important, sports were important, and then I would say just life got the best of me, and I made a few wrong choices, and when I turned 18, I ended up in county jail for the first time with some felonies from being intoxicated and doing some stuff I shouldn't have been doing, and that was the first of 20-something booking photos in that jail. What I would say about that is it weighed heavy on my mental health, my personal health, emotional health, spiritual health, and I just slowly kind of lost the grip of life, and it just took me down that dark path, and it was a long, long, dark path.
And yet here you are, you're what, 8 years sober, is that right? 8 years sober? So there is hope. You went through hell and you got out on the other side. You were singed.
Yes.
But you're alive, which in and of itself is a miracle. And now you're here. So you have institutional knowledge of what it's like to be institutionalized. And that gives you a certain perspective that perhaps most people don't.
Yeah, when I think of the 8 years of freedom that I have and the work it took, honestly, a lot of things had to align. In 2016, the last time I was in jail, the last time I used, I had no intentions of getting clean. Just one, I call it a miracle. Some people call it a spiritual moment. But I got a visit in jail that showed me that people still loved me. I was still a lovable person. I was still needed, that my kids needed me, and that little bit of pure love that I hadn't felt in so long, being in that lifestyle, did something to me, and it instantly filled me with a lot of hope, and I haven't looked back since.
And now you're here. How did you go from spending a great deal of your time behind bars to the epiphany that you just mentioned to thriving together and your role here? How did those things mesh? How did that come together?
I found a 12-step community, and that is how I fought for my life and learned how to cope, learned how to live, learned how to, be a better person. And through that process, I seen that I enjoyed advocacy work, and I enjoyed telling people my story and telling people that recovery is possible. I didn't want people to think that, this old concept of, once a junkie, always a junkie is not true, that there's hope for anybody. There's no hole too deep that you can't dig your way out of. And I met some good people, and one of the things that happened in 2018 is we started a grassroots coalition, me and a bunch of other people, and we wanted to just tell the community that recovery is possible, and we got like-minded individuals, you know, Kristen Ferreira, the drug court judge, joined our coalition, and just a few other people that were pretty prominent in getting things and opening doors and making things happen showed up. And that's where I had met one of the staff members from Thriving Together at the time. I was working at the local machine shop here. I loved my job. I had no intention of leaving, and Thriving Together facilitated the very first Recovery Coach Academy training. It's where I learned how to be a recovery coach. And in that moment, I realized that I wanted to do something different with my career path, and it was being in peer support. And through that process, Thriving Together decided that they wanted to hire somebody with lived experience to start a pilot project in Chelan County Jail, and that's when I interviewed for the job. You know, at the time, I didn't think I was qualified for it or, you know, good enough. A lot of the stuff that was going on in my head was telling me, you know, you're not good enough for this, don't do it. And good thing I had a really good support group that told me, apply for that, this is meant for you. And I got the job in 2020, and it's been probably the biggest blessings in my recovery, is being able to have an opportunity like this to work for an organization that cares so much about underserved populations, and especially a population that I know all too well.
About last number I checked, about 75% of the people incarcerated at the Chelan County Regional Justice Center are suffering from addiction. Most of it fentanyl, others as well. But that's almost 80% of those incarcerated are addicted to drugs. Mm-hmm. They may not be incarcerated because of drugs. It could have been I stole to feed my habit, but one way or the other, that's a remarkably sobering number, which leads us to the video series. You got some money, you used some of your own, you got some grant money for some other organizations to create these series of videos that North 40 Productions put together that's going to be shown to inmates suffering from addiction at the Chelan County Regional Justice Center. We're going to show a couple of snippets of a couple of videos here shortly. But this project takes you guys to the next level, right? You think?
Yeah, I think, you know, the Clears project, there's a few things to note. One of the things is the importance of people knowing that law enforcement wants to be a positive influence for this population and can do a lot of interventions with their interactions with people out in the community. And so highlighting that relationship between somebody with lived experience and law enforcement is something that's super important, because when you're caught up in your active addiction, most of the time you're so blinded by the fact that these civil servants are trying to help you and be supportive of you because of your anger and, you know, resentment and whatever, and, you know, the drugs manipulating your thought processes. But these stories really signify hope, and I think that, to me, it really is there to also reduce the stigma that, you know, for one, people incarcerated, there's a stigma. 2, addiction. 3, the stigma against law enforcement. And so when you see these videos of these people in recovery turning their life around, finding success in life, and working with law enforcement to do that, it gives hope to people that are incarcerated. And we plan on putting these in our jail system, so when somebody gets booked into jail, they can see this really powerful story of redemption and hopefully use that to access the Recovery Coach program that's in our jail systems.
We're going to show snippets of both of these videos. There's some of it you might feel a little uncomfortable, but it's reality. life isn't always peaches and cream. We're going to show snippet. We can't show you the whole videos because they're a little on the lengthy side. And both of these videos, by the way, and additional videos will be available on the Thriving Together NCW YouTube page. But here's a couple of snippets to check out. And then as soon as we're done with these, we'll come right back.
I know me, at least in my drug use, I was always in denial, and I always thought that I could run from the truth. But when you're honest and when you're willing to put in the effort and the work, things will gradually get better.
My first interaction with Cruz, he was committing, new felonies and, an active gang member in our community.
I didn't really care much for him. There was no communication. I was very dishonest towards him. But just coming out of treatment this last time, I was assigned to his caseload, so here I am.
Right away, I noticed he had a strong desire for change. He put his words into action. He found a job, then he found a second job and was working 2 jobs.
Things are super well. I actually see him as a peer mentor, almost like a bigger brother, or a friend type.
Change is possible. Focus on you first to get through your recovery, and the other stuff will follow.
I wasn't just addicted to the lifestyle, the drugs, the money. I couldn't be alone, right? And that was the root of the problem, was feeling lonely. And that's what took me back to drugs all those years ago. I got pregnant when I was 16. I had my daughter in my life, but I just felt really lonely, and the only way I knew how to cope was drugs. I smoked heroin, and then I used intravenously. I lost my apartment, stopped going to school, then lost my job. Something that I told myself that I would never give my kid up, like my mom did. I ended up getting raided by the Chelan County Sheriff's Department. I didn't want to get clean, but I didn't want to continue living the life I was living. I started to become involved. I got back in touch with my sponsor, created goals for myself. I had just gotten a job as a recovery navigator. Officially November 1st, I took over guardianship of my niece, and she's been with me for a year. Starting to build a relationship with my daughter, with my niece. I want to live and have a good life for myself and for my girls.
Joseph Hunter, how important is the fact that the videos that we just saw are people like you who went through hell and emerged on the other side, slightly singed, but they're emerged, because these are remarkable videos and remarkable stories. The message is hope. The message is there are people out there who give a damn about you, whether you know it or not. Is that essentially it?
Yeah, you want, when somebody's incarcerated and they're, detoxing or just got over a detox, when they see somebody that came from that same background and lifestyle turn their life around, it instantly puts hope in their pocket and gives them the belief that they can achieve that same success themselves.
When this series of conversations returns, we're going to be talking. Who am I going to be talking to again? I'm sorry. Our friend here, to just off camera.
John Chapman, the Executive Director of Thriving Together NCW.
John Chapman is going to give us a little background about how this organization came to be and what you can do to help Thriving Together NCW continue to thrive together NCW. We'll have that right around the corner.
Central Washington Water is your hot spring spa dealer for over 45 years. Shop their showroom and see the new Freshwater Smart IQ. This is a new innovative approach to super simple water care combined with the freshwater salt system to give you clean, balanced spa water naturally. There's a hot tub for every budget. Buy plug-and-play spas starting at $79 per month. See Central Washington Water at the KPQ Home Expo and save up to $1,000 on a hot spring spa. Central Washington Water. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
Hello, Wenatchee Valley. Collins Fashion's famous Buy One, Get One sale has begun. That's right. Buy one sale item, clothing item at half price and get the next one free. Collins Fashion still has a great selection of quality fall and winter merchandise. Coats, jackets, sweaters, jeans, tops, PJs, hats, and gloves. Spring merchandise is arriving daily. Your favorite brands like Tribal, Charlie B, Habitat, Joseph Ribkoff, etc. Collins Fashions is where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
It seems apropos talking about Thriving Together NCW that we talk about how Thriving Together NCW came to be and what their goals, missions, and aspirations are. Introduce yourself to our television family, my friend.
My name's John Chapman. I'm the Executive Director for Thriving Together NCW. I've been with the organization for about 8 years, pretty much from the start of the organization up until a lot of our transition, which include our name change in 2020, 2021.
So it started before it was Thriving Together NCW. It was.
We're originally called North Central Accountable Community of Health, and so we are actually one of 9 accountable communities of health across the state of Washington. So geographically, the 9 of us cover every basically square mile of the state, and our ultimate goal is really to improve the health and well-being of the residents across North Central Washington. We all really align around the approach that we want to be community-driven, listening to the voice and the needs of those we are trying to serve, especially those who don't typically have a voice. I think one of the things that really adheres to, especially with the work we're doing around the recovery community, and as you had heard Joseph Hunter say, was that really came from grassroots. That came from the individuals in recovery identifying what they need and the supports that they need to do this work. And that's probably one of the programs and one of the initiatives that we do as an organization that's really exploded. And that's because it came from the people we're trying to serve.
Unfortunately, business is good, or you wouldn't be here. It's definitely a catch-22 in that regard. I mean, in a perfect world, you guys wouldn't exist, but it's not a perfect world, and you have to deal with some pretty difficult situations, probably on an almost daily basis, right?
Well, I would say in the recovery community, probably more so. That's kind of a focus and work where we're dealing more and more with individuals who are currently suffering, that we're trying to provide support and get them into a thriving life. As an organization, one of our focuses really is to move upstream and to continue creating the environment for people to thrive in the first place. So in reality, we're an organization and we have the flexibility, since we don't technically provide direct services, but we work with partners who do. We have the opportunity to think about the long game and focus on what are some of those long-range things that we need to support in our community and support our partners to do to set people up to thrive. You know, we even talk about in the work that we've done around recovery, how do we support our youth in getting into a life so that addiction doesn't become the choice that they make or the option they feel like they have to default to? How do we make sure that the system is set up for individuals to succeed? We're not gonna, we're not gonna solve everything, and people will still run into issues, but can we mitigate the number of people who fall into addiction, fall into hard times because of what the system created, not their own personal choices? And so our goal is to really work collectively. And our region is Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanagan
Yeah,
County.
you have a big footprint.
Yeah.
Your headquarters are here in East Wenatchee, but your footprint is all the way up the Canadian border, Chelan County, Douglas County, Okanagan County, and the Colville Confederated
Yep, and we
Tribe.
work in partnership with the Confederated Tribes of the Colville Reservation.
It seems to me that the Wenatchee Valley is getting most of the attention when it comes to what's going on with the fentanyl crisis and others as well. Are there places in more rural communities that you serve and you're a part of? Are they being underserved or not appreciated? Hey, we got a problem up here too, in Okanagan or Republic or Pateros or what have you?
You know, I think Wenatchee's done a very good job destigmatizing the idea of addiction. I think there's other communities and rural communities that could provide more support, just understanding what it means and how people end up in addiction and how do we destigmatize that so the communities can wrap around them. I think the tough thing is always going to be, and why we always want to focus on our most rural, is there's a lot of services in Wenatchee Valley too. You know, you're going to get up to Orville, Washington, or even out to Grand Coulee, and you know there are community members trying to provide support, but it's just in some of those rural areas that have the same wraparound services that you can get in Wenatchee or East Wenatchee aren't always there, and it's not because the community doesn't care, it's just because of the struggles with funding and resources and getting the funding to provide those services directly to them. And that should always be something that's in the consideration. How do we get out there and support those people who are most rural? I don't think they have any less issues around addiction or the need for support around addiction. It's just they don't get as much of the attention.
The courts have done pretty much a 180 over the last few years. You mentioned, Joseph mentioned that Judge Ferreira is on board this. So are the district court judges in Chelan County, because they don't want to see the revolving door of I was arrested for drugs or stealing to feed my drug habit, and now I'm back, and now I'm back, and now I'm back. They don't want to deal with this any more than people who are deeply involved in a crippling addiction. So they've done a 180. They've become very proactive in keeping people out of jail and being productive citizens again.
I would say we're lucky in our area. In both fronts, I think both law enforcement and the courts have really wrapped around to support this work. I also think that the recovery community and the recovery advocates have good support for law enforcement. So I don't think you can say that in every part of the state. In a lot of parts, there's more conflict between advocates and law enforcement and less collective working together. But here, you can really see, you know, the partnership with Chelan County Jail, Okanagan County Jail, Grant County Jail. Like, we all really care, and we all understand that we care, and we all see that value. I think the recovery community and individuals like Joey help emphasize that. So when law enforcement can see people that they've served directly and the influence and the difference they're making in the community, and the fact that people they might be serving now that they're struggling with because of their addiction, that there's hope for them too. I think that helps. But also I think just that rural kind of come together, can do attitude in our region where everyone cares. We're all each other's neighbors. I think that helps create an environment where we're all here to support each other.
Last question, then I'll cut you loose. I know you're a busy guy. How do we help? How does the thousands and thousands of people who are watching this show right now, how do we help Thriving Together NCW continue to thrive together NCW? What can the general public do to make sure your organization continues to do the work that they do?
I think advocacy and involvement where you can. We support a number of organizations out there doing great work. I think you being individuals in the community being involved and supporting those organizations to further their mission, and then encouraging them to continue to look at how we support more preventative upstream public health services. I think that's really important. You know, again, since today is about the recovery piece, I think destigmatizing addiction and recovery, I think that is a role everyone needs to interplay with. And I know every person out there has a different experience in their personal stories of how they've intersected with people in addiction, how they've been in addiction themselves. But ultimately, we all know that we're talking about our family members, we're talking about our friends, we're talking about members in our community that we want to support. And so the more people who can get behind that understanding of what recovery and addiction is and how we can support community members in getting into a thriving life, I think that's important. And I would interplay that with almost every aspect of the work we do. When we think about, you know, the diversity in our community and the different kinds of individuals that make up North Central Washington, how are we creating an environment for every single person to have an opportunity to thrive? And again, these are all community members, whether we come from different backgrounds. It's really about how are we there for each other in community.
If you plug your ears and go, yeah, la, 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 you're not helping anybody. In fact, if anything, you're hurting people. That's all there is to it. It's good to talk to you, my friend. I learned a lot. I think our audience did too. You can go to the Thriving Together NCW website. It's a trough of information there. I highly recommend it. And also, that is where you're going to find those videos that we talked about earlier, also on their YouTube page. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back. This March, Lake Chelan welcomes food and wine lovers to an unforgettable experience. Taste Chelan. 16 of the Valley's top wineries and restaurants create the perfect pairing of fine wines and Epicurean delights. With 4 unique winery tracks and 5 weekends to explore, every visit offers something fresh and exciting. From your first sip to the last bite, every moment is a delicious adventure, so don't wait. Tickets are selling fast. Visit tastechelan.com today.
The end is near. The final days are here for the historic going out of business sale at Crown Furniture in Wenatchee. Yes, after 60 years, we're closing forever in a matter of days. With so much great furniture still on hand, we invite you in for some friendly negotiation on price. Just find what you like and negotiate. If you're reasonable, it's yours. Negotiate on living rooms, on dining rooms, on bedrooms, mattress sets, fine leather, and more. If you're reasonable, it's yours. The final days mean the greatest savings at Crown Furniture. After 60 years, closing the doors and going out of business forever.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
All right, still 37 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley. By the way, I forgot to mention this at the top of the show. We passed a milestone. Sunset is now after 7 o'clock. Thanks to daylight saving time, we're still getting about 3.5 minutes of additional daylight every day for quite some time. And the vernal equinox, the first day of spring, by the way, is on March 20th, which I believe is a Thursday this year. But that's on the way. What's coming is this. This is a computer model from the National Weather Service on the rain that's coming our way. The timeline is in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. We're going to see a little bit of light rain today. Tonight is when the rain's really going to come down, probably while you're sleeping. Could get up to 1/4 of an inch of rain overnight tonight. That is a lot of rain. And then on Thursday, we start drying out, but as the tail end of low pressure system number 1 exits the area on Thursday, it's going to be very windy tomorrow and Thursday night. Friday we catch a break, and then a second system rolls in. It's going to give us everything. Windy conditions, cold temperatures, wet, snow in the mountain passes. Yeah, it is still winter, and there's proof positive of that. All right, here we go. From the National Weather Service, 50% chance of rain today, and then rain big time tonight. By the way, the snow level is going to go up to right around 4,000 feet, and it ain't going to be real warm either, as you can see. Rain tonight, quite a bit of rain, perhaps for all of the viewing area. Snow in the mountains. We'll get down to about 34, and then Cold and unsettled, very windy on Thursday. Rain this weekend, colder than normal temperatures. Start your Thursday with us tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye.